Hello, Malcolm Cabby here on this absolutely scorching Friday evening. So more transfer gossip. So this time, I guess we've all heard of the name Raheem Sterling. So could he be possibly on a move to the one of the three promoted teams that's just come up with the Premier League? Former Everton Chief Executive Keith Wearness has suggested that Chelsea winger Raheem Sterling may have to settle for a transfer to a newly promoted club like Sunderland this summer. The 30-year-old spent last season on loan with Premier League high flyers Arsenal, but struggled to make much of an impact in North London, scoring 1 goal and assisting 5 more across 28 appearances in all competitions. Of those 28 outings, just 13 less than half were starts. And some people will argue, well, if he's at a really high calibre club like Arsenal and he's not doing it, how is he going to do it? Possibly with Sunderland or Burnley or Leeds. But as such, Sterling is set to return to his parent club this summer with no concrete indication as to where his long-term future lies. Meanwhile, the attacker's contract at Stamford Bridge is set to run until 2027, but there is a broad understanding that he will struggle to force his way back into Enzo Maresca's plans in the capital, as things have said. So there's quite a lot of feedback with the Sunderland fans on this. Ronan says, I would have him, to be quite honest. I wouldn't say no. Chris has said, could go either way. We've had a recent history of getting the best out of players that have lost their way and are technically on paper better than where we were at the time. Pritchard, Roberts, Danny Bath, Meffin. It could be a Prem equipment of that. However, it could also be like our last Prem signings. Overpaid, uninterested and underproduced. It's a massive gamble for the wages he'd command. Not sure if it's someone we should be taking a risk on. Palace or Fulham would probably be better suited for him due to them being in the position where they are. They can take more risks. But to be fair, we thought this on Defoe the first time and look how well that turned out. Joel says, He says, I'd rather have Duncan Watmore. Jesus. Peter says, would you let him take Mayenda's place? Good point. Paul says, I would have him, but can't see him settling for 15k a week. There's no way he's going to be on 15k a week. Kyle says, think he can settle for retirement instead. I'd rather have the plague than Sterling. We're getting quite a mixture from fans, positive and negative. Tom says, I wouldn't have him for now. He's finished. Arsenal only took him on the old Pals Act. And Danny says, his wages could be the only issue for me. Lewis Joplin says, can't believe people saying they wouldn't have him. He says, would comfortably be our best player, says Lewis. Stephen says, he's been absolutely crap since he's left Man City. John says, be a good signing, honestly, but could we afford his wages? Michael says, don't think we would pay the wages he would want, thankfully. He's on his way down and doesn't have the best attitude. And yet Super Kevin Dugan says, yes, get him in. And then straight away on the flip side, John says, don't want him or only disrupt the squad. So it's looking like a 50-50 kind of split here. So it's an interesting one. So let us know what you think on this one. Would you take him if he was offered? Or would you run a mile? We'll catch you later.